we are back with another installment of the Fab Farm, and we're working on the pig. So here he is. Not too much cutting, a little bit of detail, especially around the snout. And here we are. I'll move this. Our 3 that I've finished. I've got 2 pink pigs and a peach pig. So we got 3 little piggies. This one made his house out of straw. This one made his house out of sticks. This one made his house out of bricks. And the 4th one, I guess he's gonna live in an RV. So let's get started. And the cutting, can't show you, but it's not quite as many pieces as the cow and the chicken, but still a good bit. So let's get started. Let me get my instructions here and get our machine on. Turn on our iron. Alright, first thing we're going to do is we always start with the eyes, which are always letter A in all of her patterns in this book. And then we need 2 F pieces, which are these little short guys. And they're going to go on top of the eyes. And then we're going to add an E piece in between after we get those sewn together, like so. You can see that. It goes this way. And then on top of that, we got a background piece, which is U. Find my U. Where's my U? He's going to go on top of this. So we're going to do this. Well, what I'm fixing to do is actually, I think I'm going to bring out my small iron. I think that'll make it a lot easier and quicker. So we're going to pause while I get our iron. Stand by. All right, we're back. Got my iron heating up. We're going to sew our eyes onto the little pieces. Pieces here. We'll flatten them out. There we go. And we'll attach them to this E-piece, one on either side, with the eyes on the bottom. And we'll flatten this out. Best we can. And we're going to add our U piece to the top. Alright, got our U piece. And we're going to spend a little more time getting this flat because for some reason those two eyes want to curl. Let's just keep the momentum on it. I may have to bring some best press over here. Get a clapper. I'm not going to need this piece for a minute while we work on the ears to kind of give it some extra help. Clappers work wonders on pieces that don't want to lay flat, especially small ones like this. Alright, so we're going to do our left and right ear. And I did this wrong on one of them, so you got to really pay attention to your directions. I got in a hurry after the first one, and I went to make the second set of ears on one of my piglets. And I did it wrong, and I didn't realize it until I'd already made some cuts. And I almost didn't have enough fabric because I had used some scraps for his earpieces. So I was sweating bullets there for a minute. Alright. So now we need G pieces. We need all of these 4 G pieces, but we're going to put them on in a certain way. So let me show you here. I'm going to spread these out just a teeny bit. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put one on the inside of both of these, like this. This one on the right side, this one on the left side, just like that. So we're going to do that. One. And there's 2. So we're going to press those. We got him pretty flat. I'll lay him over there for now. And so press these out. And remember, they got to go on the inside. Remember these little small rectangles on the inside, not on the outside. That was where I messed up. Okay, and then these go on top, like so. So we're going to sew those on. Press these out. Press this one out. Now, make sure you orient them the way they are on your book. Right now they're not oriented the right way. This one needs to go this way. This one needs to go this way. These little L-shaped corners need to be on the inside. not on the outside. And now you're going to need some H squares. And where I messed up is I put them on the outsides, like this. And then I sewed. And then I cut before even looking. And then I had to redo it all. So once you cut, it's a no-no. They go on the inside, right here. Just like that. And you can fold, do your little fold line if you're a newer quilter. Need a guide, just like that, so you know which way to go. And before I cut, I'm going to double check my images and my directions to make sure I've got it right. I'm double checking. They're correct. So now we can cut. Black threads everywhere. So now we cut. Just across like that. And across like this. Clean up our mess. This I have to clean up later. Now we're going to press them out. And this will be the right ear. Okay. So here's your left ear. Here's your right ear. We're going to set these bad boys aside while we work on the snout. Alright, so first thing in the snout we need his nostrils, which are letter P, which are these diagonal stripes I have here. Just like that. Alright. And then in the center we're going to need a letter I, which is our one little eye here. He goes in the center to make our two nostrils. We're going to press this bad boy, and we may have to lay him under the clapper because these are curly and it's really stiff from starching. But you want stiffness because that means it'll stay when you press it. He did actually pretty good. Alright, so we got our nostrils. Now we're going to add 2 J pieces on the top and bottom. One here and one here. Take the tape off. Groaning. Yes, puppy. What is it, puppy? What's you? I've got my quilt door shut and she doesn't like it. She's very needy. She's a doodle. Alright, so we have those 2 pieces, and now we need our K, and they're going to go on the left and the right side. Form our nostrils, our nose, our snout. Let's get those together. This is coming together pretty quick. And here we go. Put this one on this side. All right, so there's our snout. Now we need to round it off to look like a pig snout. So we're going to get some B, which are these little squares, and we're going to snowball the corners. And when I mean snowball, I mean we sew across the corners at a diagonal, just like we did those corners of those ears. So here we are. Got those bad boys. We're going to sew across. And I need to make some adjustments on one of these. He's a little bigger than he needs to be. We don't need that. That'll throw us off for a little bit. Not much. Make sure all of my squares are actually square. I noticed one looked like a rectangle. Alright. So let's get these on here. These dogs don't want to play today. It's probably about time I give this a good cleaning. Alright, we got our squares on. Alright, got those on. Been trimmed. Now we're going to press them out, put them under the clapper because these little corners are going to want to curl. They're going to want to curl. Lay them under that iron for a second. And then we're going to put them under the clapper. Best we can. Alright. Now, let's grab all our other pieces while that's sitting under our clapper for a minute. We need C's, D's, and L's. So here's our C pieces. We need 2 of those. We need our D pieces. And we need some L squares. just like that. Alrighty, I think he's flat enough for now. So what we're gonna do, move this so I don't burn myself. So we're gonna put our C pieces on top, sew them on, and then the D pieces go on either side, and then these guys go on the outside bottom corners, and they are snowballed on just like we did the ears, except on the bottom, just like that, to form the rest of our face. Just want to trim off a little excess on the sides here where I may have mismeasured or things got a little bit distorted. That way it's good and square. And press that out. Alright, now we're going to add these guys on the left and right sides. As you can see, I have a little excess too, and I just make sure I centered my pieces. So all I got to do is take my scissors, rotary cutter, and just trim off that excess so that it's square or flush, just like that. And then press him out. And then we're going to add our rectangle, our squares at the bottom. Double check that you've sewed the right angles. Then you trim. Then you trim. Now we discard. And then we press. Remember, this is the bottom, so don't get confused. It's just easier for me to press them open this way. Right. Now, let's take a look at our next page. We are going to add more pieces to our big bit. So we need 2 N's and an M. So here we are. M's going to go here. And then these guys are going to go on either corner, either side after we get the M on. So we're going to do M fit next. Just like that. Just line them up. I'll just trim up a little bit. Got a little bit of a excess. This side too. This side's kind of bowing out a little bit. Alright. Now let's do our end pieces. Checking everything. Alright. Press these out. Press this out. There's the bottom of our face here. So now we're going to come back to our ears. So we're going to set him aside. We need to come back to our face and our ears. All right, we got our face and we got our two ears. Remember, these points go on the inside. All right. So now we're going to need some T's. Letter T's, those are S's. And these are T's. Alright, so we need our letter T's. Actually, we'll do this and then we'll go back, because I think I just skipped a step on the other one. Haven't done anything wrong yet, but we will if we don't go back. Alright, so these letter T's are going to go across on the inside, and we're going to snowball them across that snowball corner that we already snowballed. That makes some sense. Alright, this one. Alright, now we're going to get some S's. There's our two S's. They are going to go in the opposite corner. Just the same. Just like that. We're going to do that. Trim these bad boys like that. Trim this one and this one. All right. So there we are. So we're going to add this to this to this, and we'll have the top part of his face. One more here. And voila, we have pig ears. I have never eaten pig ears. Never eaten anything on a pig except the main body. But I do see them in the store sometimes. And big pig. Alright, so we're going to come back to our main body of our pig because we need to snowball some corners. I was like, I've got some extra teas and I wonder why. And now I know. It's because we need to snowball these corners to make them roundish, like a pig. Okay. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to add some back side pieces. We got to add our V pieces after we press him. This iron is getting quite warm. It's about time to turn it off because, like I said, this is one of them recalled irons. But I don't use it enough to justify just throwing it away. It's not plugged in all the time. It's barely plugged in at all if I ever use it. And we're going to add our V pieces to the left, to the right, like so. And get those on. And then we're going to work on his feet. We're almost done with our piglet. Okay, so now we can go ahead and add this piece to this piece and go ahead and set it aside while we work on our other pieces. What I'm going to do, because this is not lining up for some reason, looks like I'm a little long on one side. We're going to just center it. It's probably because I had to do a little trimming. That's fine. Center it. Do the best we can with what we got, right? Sometimes things just don't line up, no matter what you do. Alright. always trim his ears a little bit because they're a little bit wonky anyway. We'll do that in a minute. Alright. We're going to set him aside. We'll do some trimming before we move him on. We're going to work on our legs. So we need these 2 O pieces, these 2 R pieces, and then we need these 2 W's, and this X, and this Y will be our last piece we go. Our X piece is going to go in the middle. First we got to put our legs and our hooves together, and then we're going to add the X and then 2 W's on either side, like so. So let's start with our pig feet. Get them made. You can chain piece them. I highly suggest you can do some of this chain piecing if you want to make 4 at one time, but like I tried to do 3 at a time, 3 pigs at a time. And that's where I messed up on the ears. So there's certain steps you're probably going to want to do individually so that you make sure you get your angles right. Alright, we got these pressed out pretty good. Now we're going to add this X in the middle. So let's get them lined up. And just and then we're going to add our W's on either side. And we're going to press. So there we are. Basically made a little strip set. These little pretty pig feet with this little striped hooves. Love it. Alright, now we're going to add him to the bottom of our pig. And I'm going to center him like I did the other because this pig for some reason is a little short. I don't know what I did, but he'll be alright. It's not that big of a deal. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this cutting board over because it's this mat, because it's a cutting mat on one side and a pressing mat on the other, like this. And first we need to press him, and then I'll flip it. Let's just get him all flat, and then we'll square him up before we add our last piece to the left side. Alright. Now gonna flip it. And we're gonna put it on here. And I'm just gonna take my ruler, find a straight side, straight as it can be, and just trim off a little bit of this in the bottom of his feet. I'm gonna flip it and do the same thing on this side, just like so. So now he is square-ish. And we'll add our Y to the left side. I'll flip this back over so we can press. This always goes on the left. All the piglets. I like that all of them are made the same, so I'm not having to worry about left pig, right pig, because then I would really be doing this. Okay, we'll press him out. Perfect. All right, so we've got a left pig. Now we got, let's see here. We've got this little piggy. Let's see, what do we say? This piggy made a house of straw. This piggy made a house of sticks. This piggy made a house made out of bricks. And this little piggy lived in a van down by the river. Chris Farley, love it. Miss him. He's a great comedian. But anyway, just a little laugh for you. But here we are. We've got all 4 of our little piglets ready for our quilt. We're getting to the end, guys. Next to the sheep. And then we got to do the 2 flowers, the sunflowers, different size flowers. And then we put the thing together. So we are over halfway there, which is awesome. So I'm going to start cutting my sheep. I'm ready to get this one done. And we will see you back when I have a few sheep made. Have a great day.